Hello everyone, welcome to our new video. In this video, we'll show you how to set up Google Ads server-side tagging. So we'll be discussing about what are the benefits of using server-side tagging, why should we use it, you know. So this would be a step-by-step process, and initially I'll be showing you how to set up browser-side tracking, then I'll show you how to set up server-side tracking or tagging, whatever you said. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's get started. So first of all, let's get to know what are the benefits of using server-side tagging. So you can see over here for learning about server-side tagging benefits in Google Ads, I have come to a documentation. So you can see over here how to implement Google Ads server-side tracking. Implementation of Google Ads server-side tracking has a couple of advantages. It may help you to improve your page load time by reducing the amount of code you have to run on client side. It may reduce the impact of ad blockers. Then another advantages are you will have more control what kind of data you're sending to external vendor. Okay, so they're guiding us step by step process on how to implement Google Ads server-side tracking. In this guide, we'll send data from web container to the server container. Before you start implement Google Ads server-side tracking, make sure that you already have in your web container. That means you need to configure web container or browser-side tracking first, which we'll do later, you know. So in the web container, you have to implement GA4 configuration tag in your Google Tag Manager client container, because all Google Ads tags in a server side container relies on the GA4 configuration tag that you have implemented in your web container. Implemented GA4 event tag for conversion. Make sure that you marked your event as conversion in Google Analytics GA4 configuration, and in the server container you have to implement GA4 client. Then you need to uh, implement conversion linker, then set up Google Ads conversion tracking, then enhance conversion tracking. Okay, so this is very useful doc. I'm going to share this link in the video description so that you can learn more about uh, the benefits of using server-side tagging in Google Ads, and they have given some of the useful steps for enabling server-side tracking in Google Ads. Okay, perfect. And you can come to the official documentation of Google about Google Ads conversion, so they have also described how to set up Google Ads conversion tracking step by step. So this is also very useful. Or if you want, you can come to the step documentation about server-side conversion tracking in Google Ads. Okay, so yeah, you can learn anywhere from you want actually. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's implement it practically. Okay, so we'll be setting up server-side tracking uh, for Google Ads using this website. So we'll be basically tracking 3 events. So events are add to cart, checkout, and purchase. Okay, and if you watch my previous videos, like I have 2 videos. One of them are Facebook conversion API, and other one is GA4 server side tracking, where I have shown you how to set up custom domain using steps so that we can collect first party data. So you can see over here, this is my first party domain data tracking. Actually, this is the URL, so it is showing ready, and I have recorded this DNS records in my cPanel. So if you don't know how to add them, so I'd suggest you to watch my Facebook conversion API tutorial, where you will get to know about implementing these records. Okay, so I'll not be showing this in this video. So what I have done, I have copied this domain from here. This is our first party domain because you can see our website is w3isip. So you can see, and the domain is also containing this, okay, and subdomain is tracking.w3isip. So if I go to tag manager, then you can see I have set up Facebook conversion API and GA4 server side tagging, you know, and this is the web container or browser or client container, and this is the server container. Okay, just a minute. So if I go to the tag section, then you can see this is the server container for Facebook conversion API, GA4 server side tagging. Okay, so first of all, I'll be setting up Google Ads browser side tracking. Then I'll be doing Google Ads server side tracking. Okay, so you can see over here, if I go, we'll be using GA4 client for passing uh, web data to server, web container data to server container. We'll be using GA4 client. And if you uh, see over here, I am using server container URL as these domains. So if I go to step, then you can see over here. So this is the domain. So I'm using this one. Perfect. Then if I go to the analytics, then you can see over here. So uh, this purchase event has been marked as conversion according to this documentation, so you can see over here, make sure that you mark your event as conversion in Google Analytics. So mine is done. Make sure you have done it as well. Okay, so before setting any Google Ads conversion tracking tag, you should set up conversion linker tag first. Okay, so that's what I'll basically do. I'll create a tag for conversion linker. So I'm gonna choose tag configuration, and I'll be providing conversion linker. Then the trigger would be all pages. Okay, so I'll click on save. Perfect. Then we need to create all the necessary uh, tags. Okay, so if I go to Google Ads, then you can see the first thing we need to set up is Google tag, then conversion linker. Okay, so I have already created conversion linker tag. Then I need to create Google tag first. Then I need to create Google Ads conversion tracking. So I'm going to choose Google tag. Then I have to put a Google tag ID over here. Okay, so I will go to the Google Ads Manager. Then from the goals section, if I choose summary, then we have an option called new conversion action. So I'm going to click on it. Then I'm going to be choosing website from here. Then I'll copy my website URL. And I'm going to enter website domain, and I'll click on scan. So I'll click on add a conversion action manually. Then I'm going to be choosing the category as I already told you, I'll be setting up a Google Ads conversion tracking for purchase event, add to cart, and checkout. So initially I'll choose add to cart, and from there conversion action optimization option. If you want, you can make this as secondary conversion, or if you want to keep this as primary conversion, then you can to it. So I'm going to choose it as secondary conversion, okay, because add to cart is not my primary conversion, okay. So I'll provide the conversion name as W3 Asif add to cart conversion. So you can name it as per your requirements, no worries. So in the value section, I'll be use different values for each conversion because I want to use the dynamic value. Okay, so the default value is 1, so we'll be using the dynamic value. So if they don't get any dynamic value, then they will use the default value 1. Okay, but we'll be using dynamic value and it will be replaced, you know. So conversion count would be every, because if someone uh, if a person add some products for multiple times, I am to count it for every time. That's why I'm going to be choosing every, and you can see over here recommended for purchase because every purchase is valuable. Okay, so similarly every add to cart is also valuable. Okay, then from the click-through conversion window, I'll maximize the click-through conversion window. I'll make it 90 days. Then engaged view conversion window, I'll make it 30 days. Then view through conversion window, I'll make it again maximum number of days, which is 30 days. And attribution, I'm gonna be using data driven. So I'll click on done. Then I'm gonna click on save and continue. So you can see over here, I'm gonna click on setup because I need to set up Google tag first. So it is loading, just wait a minute. I'm gonna click on install manually and I'm gonna copy this code, actually this one, and I'll go to the tag manager and I'm gonna use this tag ID. And as the triggering, I'll be triggering it as all pages. Okay, and I'll name this as Google Ads or Google tag for Google Ads. Okay, perfect. Then I'll click on save. So I'll go to here and I'm gonna click on cancel and I'll be using Google Tag Manager. Okay, so I'll click on new and I'm gonna name this as Google Ads event name add to cart. Okay, so I'm gonna choose tag configuration and I'm gonna be choosing Google Ads. Then I'll be choosing Google Ads conversion tracking. Then I need to provide conversion ID, conversion level, conversion value, transaction ID, currency code. Okay, so if I, before creating it, if I go to variable section, then I'll show you. I have created data layer variables for value e-commerce.value. Actually, I created this for GA4 e-commerce tracking. That's why I don't need to create data layer variables for Google Ads again. So I can use the existing one, DLV value, and then DLV currency, commerce.currency. Then if I scroll down a little bit, then you can see over here for enhanced conversion, I have created all the necessary informations like customer billing email, customer billing phone, customer billing first name, last name, address, city, state, country, postcode. So I can use this uh, data layer variable, okay, for customer informations. And if I go to over here, then you can see e-commerce transaction ID is also available, e-commerce.transaction underscore ID. So I don't need to create another data layer variables for Google Ads because I have already created for GA4 and Facebook. So if you haven't watched my previous videos, I would suggest you to watch those videos and create data layer variables. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the text section again, and I'll click on new and name the tag as Google Ads event name add to cart. Then I'm gonna be choosing tag configuration, and I'll be choosing Google Ads, and I'm gonna be choosing Google Ads conversion tracking again, and I need to provide conversion ID. So if I go to over here, then you can see this is my conversion ID. So I'm gonna copy it from here and paste it over here. And this is my conversion label. So I'm gonna copy it from here and paste it over here. So I'll click on done. Then you can see this is my conversion value, transaction ID, and currency code. So if I click on this and search for e-commerce value, most probably e-commerce value, this one, e-commerce value. Then if I search for e-commerce transaction ID, this one, and if I search for e-commerce currency, then I'll get the currency code, e-commerce currency, this one. So I have used conversion value as e-commerce value, transaction ID as e-commerce transaction ID, currency as commerce currency. Okay, then I'm gonna enable this for sending enhanced conversion data. Include user provided data from your website. Google will only use this data you share to provide your services, including technical support. Google won't share your data with other services. Okay, so I'm gonna click on this, and I'll be choosing select user provided data. So this one. So I have already created a data layer variable for this. So I'm gonna use this one. Okay, perfect. Then I have already created conversion linker, and I don't need to select anything from advanced settings. Okay, so in the triggering section, I have already created a trigger for add to cart. Okay, so I'm gonna be choosing add to cart. In case if you don't know how to set up add to cart trigger, so in the Facebook conversion API video, I have shown you how to set up a trigger for add to cart. Okay, so I'll click on save. So you can see over here we have created a tag for Google Ads event name add to cart. Okay, so what I will do, I'll copy the existing tag, and I'm gonna modify this tag. Okay, so for copying it, I'll click on this three dot and click on copy. Okay, so I'll rename the tag as Google Ads event name. Then I'm gonna name this as begin checkout. Begin checkout. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to change the conversion ID and label. So for changing it, I need to create another conversion for begin checkout. Okay, so I'm gonna choose new conversion action. Then I'm going to be choosing website, and I need to provide my website URL. So I'm going to copy it from here and paste it over here and click on scan. So it is scanning. Then I'm going to be choosing add a conversion action manually, and from the goal and action optimization I'm going to be choosing begin checkout. So if you want, you can make this as primary conversion, or if you want, then you can make this as secondary. So I'll keep it as primary. You can do it as per your requirements, and I'll give the conversion name as W3 Asif is my website name. Then I'm gonna write begin checkout. Okay, so I'll be use different values because I have to use dynamic value. Then I'm gonna be choose every as count, and I'll maximize all the conversion window. So I'll make it 90 days, then I'll make it 30 days. Similarly, I'll make it 30 days, and as the attribution, I'll be using data driven. I'll click on done. I'm gonna click on save and continue. Then you can either use Google tag, or you can email instruction to your webmaster, but I'll be using Google Tag Manager. So I'm gonna copy the conversion ID, and instead of this, I'm gonna use this one. So this is our conversion label. So I'm gonna copy conversion label, and I'll be using this one. Okay, and I'll keep conversion value as e-commerce value, transaction ID as e-commerce transaction ID, currency code as e-commerce currency, and I'll be using user provided data as enhanced conversion data. Okay, so in the triggering section, instead of using add to cart trigger, I'll be using checkout trigger. So where is the checkout? Maybe this one. Yeah, checkout trigger. So I'll click on save. Then I'm gonna go to here and click on done. So we have created another tag for begin checkout. Okay, so I'll be creating another tag for purchase. So what I can do, I can copy this tag, and then I can modify the tag name. Google Ads event name. Then I'm gonna use purchase. Okay, so I need to change conversion ID and level. So I'll go to the conversion section, and I'm gonna click on new conversion action, and I'm gonna be choosing website, and I'll copy the website URL from here and paste it over here. Then I'll click on scan. I'm gonna click on add a conversion action manually. I'm gonna choose goals and optimization as purchase. So I'll keep this as primary conversion, and from the conversion name, I'll name this conversion as W3 Asif purchase. So you can name it as per your requirements, no worries. And I'm going to be using dynamic value. So for using dynamic value, you need to use different values for each conversion, and from the count section, I'm going to be using every, and I'll maximize all the conversion window. So I'm going to be using this as 90 days, then engage view conversion as 30 days, then view through conversion window as 30 days. Okay, and as the attribution, I will be using data driven. So I'll click on done. Then I'm going to click on save and continue. Again, I'll be using Google Tag Manager, so I need to use the conversion ID and label from here. So I'm going to copy the conversion ID from here and go to the tag manager, and instead of this conversion ID, I'm going to use this one, and I'll be copying the conversion label. So this is our conversion label. So instead of using this one, I'm going to use this one. And other than these two will keep all of these parameters same as add to cart and checkout. So conversion value would be e-commerce value, transaction ID would be e-commerce transaction ID, currency would be e-commerce currency, and I'll be using user provided data for passing enhance e-commerce data. Okay, perfect. Then as the triggering, I'll be using it as purchase trigger. Okay, so I'm gonna click on save. So we have set up browser side tracking for Google Ads. Now what we will do, we'll be sending our data using GA4 client from browser side to server side. Okay, so we'll go to the server container. Now we'll be creating a conversion linker first. Okay, so I'll go to the new tag and I'll name it as server side conversion linker. Server side conversion linker. Then I'm going to be choosing tag configuration as conversion linker, and as the trigger I'll be using all pages. Okay, I'll click on save. Then I need to create 3 tags uh for the 3 browser side tag, actually one for add to cart, then checkout, and then purchase. So let's create one by one. So I'm going to be creating a tag for server side uh Google Ads add to cart. Google Ads add to cart. So you can name it as per your requirement. So I'm going to be choosing tag configuration as Google Ads conversion tracking, and we need to use the same conversion ID and label from the browser container. So what I will do, basically I'll go to the browser site add to cart tag. Then I'm going to copy the conversion ID and label from here. So this is our conversion ID. I'm going to use it over here, and this is our conversion label. So I'm going to copy it from here and paste it over here. Okay, and as the conversion value and currency, it will be done uh, dynamically, actually. So you don't need to provide any value or currency code over here, because it will be using GA4 client, and it will automatically, not dynamically, it will be automatically done. So you don't need to put it over here. Okay, perfect. Then you can see over here, you can enable these options like product level sales data, you know, product provide new customer data, include user provided data. So if you enable this option, then they will be automatically uh, tracked, from the browser side. Include user provided data is basically enhanced conversion data, which we have passed in our browser container, so user provided data, this one. So I'll go to the triggering section, and we need to make a trigger for add to cart. Okay, so I'll name this as add to cart trigger, and I'm going to be choosing this one, and I'll be choose custom event, and I'll give the event name as this one. So what I can do, I can go to add to cart event in browser container, and I'm gonna copy this event name from here and paste it over here. Okay, perfect. So I'll click on save. Then I'm gonna click on save again. So we have created a tag for server side Google Ads add to cart. So what I can do, I can copy the existing tag, then I can modify it. Okay, So for copying, I'll click on this three dot and I'm gonna click on copy, and I'll name it as server-side Google Ads begin checkout. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to change conversion ID and conversion label. So I'm gonna go to the browser container, Google Ads event name begin checkout tag. Then I can copy this conversion and conversion ID and label. Okay, so I'm gonna copy conversion ID from here and use it over here. Then I'm gonna copy the conversion label from here, then use it from here, use it actually here. Then I'll enable provide product level sales data, then provide new customer data and include user provided data. Okay, so instead of add to cart trigger, I'll be creating a trigger for begin checkout. Okay, so I'll name this as begin checkout trigger. Trigger is also already there. So I'm gonna choose custom event and I'll go to the browser side and copy the event name from here. So I'm gonna copy the event name from here and paste it over here. I'll click on save. I'm gonna click on save again. So we have created two tags, so we need to create another one. So I'll copy the checkout tag from here and I'm gonna rename it using server-side Google Ads. Then I'll be using purchase. Okay, cool. Then I'll be using Google Ads browser side purchase conversion ID and label in the server side. Okay, so I'm gonna copy conversion ID from here and paste it over here. Then I'm gonna copy conversion label from here and paste it over here. So using this conversion ID and label, it will automatically collect conversion value, transaction ID, and currency code from browser side container and pass those value in server side container. So we don't need to use them over here. Okay, I will be enabling provide product level sales data, then provide new customer data, include user provided data, and instead of using begin checkout trigger, I'll be creating a trigger for purchase. Okay, so I'll click on plus and I'll name the trigger as purchase trigger, or you can name it as server side purchase trigger, whatever you want. Then I'm going to be choosing custom event and I'll go to the browser side and copy the event name from browser side and I'm going to use it in the server side. Okay, perfect. Then I'll click on save. I'm going to click on save again. So we have created all the three tags for server container. So let's see whether it is working on both browser side and server side or not. So for checking, I'm gonna click on this preview button and from the server container, I'll be clicking on the preview button as well. Okay. I need to provide my website URL. It is loading, just wait a little bit. It is still loading. So let's choose one of the products. For example, I'm gonna be choosing this one. So I'll add this product to the cart. It is still loading, just wait a few seconds. I'm gonna add this product to the cart. And let's go to the tag assistant from browser container and see if our Google Ads tag is firing or not. So you can see over here Google tags for Google Ads has fired, Google tag, add to cart has fired. Okay, so if I go to server container, you can see over here add to cart has fired for Facebook conversion API, GA4 server side Google Ads. So it is succeeded. So if I click on it, then you can see over here firing status. Then if I choose value, then you can see over here outgoing HTTP request from browser, outgoing HTTP request from server, add to cart fired. Okay, so everything is working fine. Everything is working properly. So this is the conversion ID, conversion level, you know. If I click on it, so everything is working properly. Then if I click on view cart, I'm gonna click on checkout and I'll make a purchase. So it is loading, just at a few seconds. I'm gonna click on place order and I'll go to the tag assistant. You can see Google Ads event name begin checkout has fired. Okay, then purchase event would also be firing Google Ads event purchase. So if I click on it, then you can see we are getting data. Okay, conversion ID, conversion level. Okay, everything is working fine. If I cookie prefix ZCL, okay, so if I click on this purchase, then you can see everything is working fine. Transaction ID, you know, then currency code, conversion value. Okay, so everything is working fine. So if I go to server container and you can see over here, if I choose purchase, then you can see server side Google Ads purchase has fired one time. It is succeeded. Firing status succeeded. Okay, new customer data true, data sources event true, conversion ID, conversion level. So everything is working fine, everything is working properly. If I choose values, then we can see, okay, outgoing HTTP request from browser, outgoing HTTP request from server. Okay, so no blockings actually. So this is how we can set up Google Ads server side tagging actually. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this video. Hopefully you have liked our video. If you like our video, so if I go to the purchase and if I go to the event data, then you can see client hints, client ID, coupon currency, you know, event name, first party data. Okay, this is the items, then language. Okay, page location, page referer, page title, screen resolution. There is no shipping, text, transaction ID is this one. So if I go to the purchase section, then you can see 4592 was the transaction ID. So 4592, and value was 120. So if I go to over here, then you can see the total value was $120. Okay, so yeah, everything is working fine, everything is working properly. So this is for the purchase event, and if I go to for begin checkout, then you can see begin checkout is also getting data, and if I go for add to cart event, then you can see add to cart is also getting data. Okay, perfect. So this is how we can set up a complete server-side tagging for Google Ads. Okay, so hopefully you have liked our video. If you like our video, then you can consider subscribing our channel, following our page. You have a good day. And additionally, if you need any conversion tracking services or any digital media buying services, then you can contact us. I have put my WhatsApp number in the chat, in the description, so that you can directly contact with me. And if you need any help, if you need any services related to Google Ads server-side tagging, Facebook Conversion API, GA4 server-side tagging, or Facebook Ads, Google Ads, then you can contact me, and we'll be very glad to if we can provide your services, if we can help you. Yeah, that's it for this. You have a good day. Bye bye.